Akash INTI, the real reflection of you. I just got home late night, not a typical Friday night, I'd say. Just about to attack the fridge over here on my side, but I haven't really posted much this past week. Looking at it, the week I was supposed to be filming this week actually, but that ended up getting postponed. So I ended up with a lot more time this week, or at least a lot more time than I had originally anticipated. And I've pretty much just filled it with doing, like, just helping out family, you know what I mean? In the sense of picking up my brother from soccer practice and whatever, just small little things at the house that keep the house running. Additionally, I guess just some of the activities that I'm usually in, but I didn't feel compelled really to make a video about anything, which is kind of interesting because that should be the signal of like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this. And that's exactly why I do it. Nonetheless, I'm making the video right now, so I at some point in time, I was like, all right, well, that's enough of that. So that's where I'm at. Interesting because I guess I've like experienced like a lot of uncertainty this week, specifically as it relates to career, finances, so on and so forth, and I guess with the opposite sex or women, you know. But that's just part of the nature of living. I've found more and more. You know, one of the things that it's funny is like I remember when I was working in the corporate world, I thought things were like, oh, okay, this is how life is, and it's always, maybe it's not always going to be like this, but I felt like it was like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Got a good sense of what tomorrow's going to be like, and where I'm going to be, and what I'm going to be doing, and my bank account's going to be at this, and whatever, right? I'm going to see this person, and things were just a lot more like, it felt like, I almost, like, I could get a general sense, I could predict generally what the next day would be like. Now, that's not to say that hasn't changed, right? Like, I mean, I have a good sense of what tomorrow would be like, and but there's always things where it's like, oh, I had no idea that was going to happen. But more and more, I found in my life that the things that I once took for granted I don't take them for granted as much anymore. You know, I don't know, there's a lot more just taking it day by day versus really looking at, oh, what am I doing for the big picture? And that's not to say that I don't think about those things, but I've just found that thinking about those things almost like it's like I gotta be in action more than anything. I've found in the day that I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing in the day that I'm in right now, today, to make sure that I am achieving whatever I want to achieve? And that's what I found is like that's where everything really happens. Is like right now. It's all about right now, you know? And there's times when I'm like, my right now isn't really focused, or it's not really, I'm not giving it everything, you know? And I found that that's where it's like, okay, dude, well, that's the real problem. That's the real issue. It's not like, what's tomorrow going to bring, or, oh man, I messed up in yesterday. The real issue is like, am I really giving it everything that I've got right now? You know, and everything I've got doesn't always mean the same thing, right? It's not always like, all right, am I going to go all out and pull an all-nighter on something? Sometimes it's the quite opposite, right? It's like sometimes it's like going all in and really giving everything that I got means that I'm really just taking it easy. I'm resting really, really well. I'm taking care of myself by eating well and so on and so forth. And specifically this week, which is really, really funny because like I felt like I was like, oh, what do I really have to talk about? There's like not much that happened, or I didn't really do too much. But that's untrue. You know what I mean? Like, there's always so much going on. That's one thing I realize more and more is like, there is so much going on, even in the most mundane moments. Like right now, I'm putting some whipped cream cheese on a bagel. But there's like so much going on while I'm doing that. Obviously, I'm talking, and, like I'm recording this video, but then there's also like each little piece of cream cheese that I'm putting on, and how I'm spreading it, and why am I spreading it the way that I'm spreading it, and just everything there, you know? How many times am I spreading it? How many times am I going over a specific area of it? And how are my fingers holding the knife while I'm doing this? Just like the most mundane questions, right? And it's like, well, someone could be like, dude, what the fuck does that matter? Like, why does that even, why would you even talk about that? Why would you even pay attention to that? It's like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm recording a video, but like, what else am I doing, you know? And I found that like real magic actually happens, and especially when I give like my full attention to something, right? Which I'm not doing right now, right? I'm, uh, I'm not giving my full attention to this, whatever, this little bagel over here. So I'm gonna give you guys my full attention. I'm gonna give you my full attention. What I found is that when I just give it whatever I've got, and I do my best to stay in the moment that I'm in and to be with it for what it is, and that's externally, right? Like observing everything and taking it in with all the senses, the sight, the sounds, the smell, the feeling. Sometimes there's a touch, and just being with it, you know? But then also the internal experience of all of that as well, of like what's going on in my mind, and how much am I really paying attention to the external sense, or what emotions am I experiencing at the same time, and everything that's encapsulated within it. I found that like if I'm really with that more, that sometimes I'll notice something maybe I didn't notice before. It could be a person, and whatever. It could be a person. It could be a new observation. It could be anything. But it's really, I've found in my own life, like slowing things down. And I found that I slow things down actually by breathing, right? That's why breathing is like, seems to be like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, breathing. Like you got to do that, and you got to do that well, and you got to practice breathing, right? Like, especially as a yoga teacher, that's like one of the things. It's like breathing. That's all we do, you know? And yet at the same time, so many times it's just like, oh yeah, what's my breathing really like? And so by slowing it down, I can slow down what's going on, or I can accelerate and then really accelerate what's going on. And that's where real magic happens. When I say magic, I mean magic in the sense of it could be change, it could be an exploration, it could be any of the above, it could be none of the above. So many thoughts going through my mind. I'm like, oh, I could talk about that, or I could talk about that, but then I'm not being here right now. You know, that's doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do, and here I am doing it. So I make this little video today because I just got an email. I make this little video today because I didn't really feel like doing it. I hadn't made a video. I felt like I wasn't doing anything interesting. I felt like, oh, why does anybody care, right? And that's like the complete wrong attitude to go into this with, you know? It's just, it makes me laugh, like, that I, like, I don't know, it just makes me smile, you know? Like, that's cute. That's, like, really cute, you know? It's a good excuse, but not good enough, you know? So, I don't know. I'm making these videos, I'm seeing where it goes, and I'm just staying consistent with it, you know? That's what it's all about. Anyways, keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.